Welcome back to the Rascals pregame show. I'm Al Hernandez with yesterday's starting and winning pitcher, Joe Scanio. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us today.
No problem.
Yesterday, you go 7 innings, give up 3 runs, strike out 5, and get the win. What were your keys to success on the mound yesterday?
Well, we got a big lead early, so just trying to throw strikes and eat up some innings for the bullpen and hold on to that big lead.
It's your second time facing Normal on the season. First time you had a ton of success against them, giving up 1 run on 7 2/3, come back with another solid outing. Was it a little bit more difficult maybe facing a team the second time round?
No, not really. I mean, honestly, they've seen me before, but I've also seen their hitters, and I knew what their hitters can do, and I knew their weaknesses a little bit better the second time around, especially my catcher, Ludi. I mean, he's caught against him a few times, so he knows what to throw and how to get him out.
Has there been much of a transition for you after throwing to Komatani for the first few starts, and now you're throwing to Ludi the last couple?
Yeah, no, not really. I can't even tell a difference, honestly. No, they're both good catchers, honestly, and they're both good about calling games, and they both do a good job back there. So, no, I really can't tell a difference. You
struck out 6 batters and 7 in your first 2 starts, and then you sort of had those numbers go down, but they punch out 5 more yesterday. What's the difference between one of those 5, 6, 7 strikeout games and one of those 1 or 2 strikeout games? Yeah, really, it's about having the breaking ball there, because you're not going to strike guys out unless you got a pitch to put them away with, and it's pretty much just being able to set guys up and spit that breaking ball down and hopefully get a swing and a miss. And sometimes you get an opportunity to do that more often in the game than usual, and it happens. So. Yesterday we saw a couple calls, interesting calls go the favor of the Rascals, and extended delays on the field due to arguing. Obviously you weren't on the field for that, but have you ever been on the other side of that, and is that difficult to sort of focus when you're the pitcher when that's going on behind you?
Yeah, as a pitcher, I really try not to think about stuff like that. I try to stick to what I can control, and that's throwing strikes. And usually, you're on the mound, you're doing your warm-ups. I try and take those pretty serious. So, no, I'm usually pretty locked in. I try not to concern myself with things that I can't control.
Last time out, before this previous start, you went 6 innings, gave up just 2 runs, but you did get the loss at Gateway. How do you feel about a start like that where you put up good numbers, but you do end up getting the L?
Yeah, it's going to happen. And, see, with our offense, we got a pretty good offense, and, 2 runs didn't get the job done that night. But, look at last night. We put up 10 and gave me a pretty easy start. I just had to go and just kind of eat up innings, and I would have got a dub. So, it's going to happen. And happy the other night, but it's all right. Like I said, sometimes the opposing pitcher is going to do better than you did, and that's what happened that game.
You've gone at least 6 innings in all but 1 start. You've gone at least 7 3 times now. What are your keys to going deep into the game, and how do you stay efficient on the mound?
Definitely. Yeah. For me, it's all about throwing strikes, and just keeping the ball down and, not giving guys free passes and pretty much filling up the zone and trying to keep your pitch count down, because your pitch count gets up, coach doesn't really have a choice to keep you in the ball game or not. So, I try not to do too much, just fill up the zone, down in the zone, and make guys beat me. I'm not trying to give out free passes. So,
yesterday was Star Wars night. Who is your favorite Star Wars character, and are you even much of a Star Wars fan?
Honestly, I'll watch it, but I'm really not too much of a Star Wars fan. I don't get too much in it, but I have to say Boba Fett just because I like the name. So.
Did you see Boba Fett on the field yesterday? Were you too locked in to catch that?
Yeah, no, I really wasn't paying too much attention to things that were going on off the field, but no, I didn't see him.
So you seem to be the king of comedy on the team. We hear that you dabble in some stand-up. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was just I got a buddy that does it. He does it quite a bit, and he needed someone to fill up 15 minutes, and he asked me if I'd do it, and I said, what the heck, and it was a good time.
So you just sort of came in blind and made up some stuff to talk about, or have you had material waiting in the wings for an opportunity?
Well, I was pretty nervous, so I wrote out some material and studied it pretty religiously, but yeah, I had some stuff written down. I didn't want to wing it. I didn't want to get too nervous and lock up.
Well, you did a pretty good job. What seemed like winging it on the bus the other day. Always enjoy to hear from you.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much. Joe Scanio, everyone.
No problem. Thank you.